I'd like to describe a coat that Yosef Atzadik wore. No, not that one. I thought you'd say that. No, not that coat. This one is actually less known, but in many ways it was more amazing in the actual sense of the word, arguably even than the extraordinary one that Yaakov presented to him, although nobody ever made a Broadway musical about it. So we learn in this week's Parshas Mikeitz, that Paro anoints Yosef to be the second in command. Vayasa Paro es tabato. Rashi tells us he gives him his ring. That's official now. Me'al yado vayiten osar al yad Yosef. Vayalbeisho so bigdei sheish. He gives them this fancy garment, this fancy coat, fine linen. It's made of, and vayasim revida zahav al tzavaro. He also puts a gold chain around his neck. Now, this is not well known, though. You have to look a little bit. Me'am Loei cites a Yerushalmi that Paro dressed Yosef in this elaborate coat made of fine linen. Some say it's a robe, some kind of a garment. And it was really the most exclusive and arguably the most highly regarded of its kind in all of Egypt. And what is his intention? Apparently, this coat is not of the ordinary nature. It's made of some mystical quality, and he wanted to save him from all kinds of damage, some kind of harm, because this coat was going to offer some mystical shield around Yosef that would protect him from the forces of the Ayin Hara, from the evil eye, from Machshefim, from the sorcery that Egypt was famous for, from the Ruach Ra'ah, from an evil spirit. After all, the Egyptians were burning with jealousy at this stage against Yosef and were busy making plans to harm him. Now, if you're thinking about this, something doesn't quite follow here. Egypt is renowned for their kishuf, their sorcery. In Kedushim, we learned that 10 kavim, 10 measures of sorcery fell to the world. Egypt took 9 of them. So we can take a straightforward approach here. It seems the simple explanation is that the Bigdei Sheish were some kind of magical shield. But I think there's a deeper lesson. There's a Musar Haskel here, and the Yerushalmi is offering some kind of powerful Musar here. Consider the situation. If you're in the capital of the dark side, as Egypt was, wouldn't you say it's wiser to stay out of the limelight, to sort of stay beneath the radar? But no, Yosef does the opposite. Paro has just appointed him, he's the Mishnah L'Melech, he's the second in command, he gives him the priciest Louis Vuitton coat to display before the entire nation. Paro might as well just draw a kick me sign and neon lights on Yosef's backside. Which sorcerer at this point could resist trying to cast a spell on Yosef, or at least in making a tiny Yosef voodoo doll to hang on his rear view mirror? So it may be, I'm going to suggest this shot of the Yerushalmi, that precisely this flamboyance, the flashiness of Yosef's Bigdei Sheish, this coat was the point. See, when you're the locus of attention in a land where the powers are ubiquitous and inescapable, you really can't hide. So the best advice may ironically be brave. Lean into the spotlight. Paro gives Yosef the coat as a shield, and Yosef wears it proudly, staring down anybody who might have had a problem with it. It's like the Gemara in Sanhedrin, where we learn a story of Rabbi Hanina, who's confronted with some scene of kishuf, of sorcery, and he dismisses it. He says, all you need to know are 3 words, Ein od milvado. What is Ein od milvado? There is nothing but Hashem. Hashem, after all, is the source of sorcery, of the evil eye, of every other damaging force in the world. And when you have that, you have everything. And Yosef, wearing his coat, demonstrates his fearlessness. It turns out Andrew Lloyd Webber made a musical about the wrong coat, Nebuch. Yosef's lesser-known coat should really be a metaphor. It should be a garment that every Jew wears proudly, standing up to our enemies who fear and loathe and envy us, with the ultimate weapon, the Jewish anthem of Emunah, Ein od milvado. A good Shabbos.